The Dow down 210 points. The bears are running. My name's D7 here at Grok Trade. It's Thursday, April 28th, 2016. And a nasty little drop across the board. You'll see that most of the major indices down more than 1%. And you have the banks confirming that. Financials confirming the drop. US dollar down 0.7%. So even with the weakness of the dollar, the market still saw a significant drop today. It's been a while since we've had this big of a drop. It's almost been a month since we've had this big of a drop. And you have crude oil up 0.7%, gold up 2%, silver up 2.4%, and there's that big move I've been talking about. Just huge pop. VIX higher by 6%. The VIX itself up more than 8%. Huge pop. And here we are looking at the markets, the ETF, Spider, S&P 500. And I gave you that warning yesterday on a lot of bearish signals, and sure enough, that is coming to fruition. So let's zoom in here. Let's take a look at what's happening on the S&P 500. And by the way, I'm still flat the market. You'll remember that I went flat up here at the top. And why did I go flat? I was long, flat up here because it just was too far extended to the upside. I saw way too many bearish things. I have not pulled the trigger to go bearish yet. I need some more confirmation to the downside before I can do that. Today we did have a nice tick higher on volume on this drop. But check this out. We had this rising wedge. With that rising wedge, price action goes higher. We did drop below. Not an immediate drop. A couple days higher, but this trend line acted as resistance. And then the big drop, and the drop happened below this trend line. So this blue trend line is a very, very important line to me. I'm going to take this line now, and I'm going to bring that dude to this area. You can do this also on yours. I'm using Trading View. Oh, it's killing me. I'm going to pull this out a little bit. Trading View. I have free charts, but I buy the big package with all the goodies. And look at this. We have this little head and shoulder reversal pattern. We're starting to drop. And we did find support, the rising 20-day moving average. And this line coming across right there. See this? We had this line for a while, and we closed right there at it. So big time support areas. Question is, will we drop? If so, look at this line, the line that we have drawn for a while too, acting as perfect support. So support and then support on the close. These lines are very, very meaningful. Question is, on Friday, will we get a close below this area? A lot of times on Friday, you'll get a stalemate where not a whole lot takes place on movement, but the bottom line is we are dropping. We're heading downward. Looking at the MACD here, what you see is we have a lower swing high here, and we're dropping with a big histogram. Now this histogram is a big tick to the downside, but we haven't crossed below the zero line yet. If we continue bearish, we will close below the zero line, and we'll get bigger and larger histogram ticks to the downside. And we want to quickly look here at the diamonds. Pull those up. You can see that we drop. And we did get a close below the 20-day moving average, but we're still above this area of support. We're watching that support big time. And NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ has been showing relative weakness all week long. And today, this is just huge. Boom to the downside. Meerkat likes to say, bam, to the downside. Look at this. Down below all major moving averages now. We got a close below the 50-day, the 100-day, the 200-day, the 20-day. A ton of moving averages. Now, price action is below that. Last two trading sessions, we had ticks higher on the volume. So this is not looking too well, but we have this support area. So on the S&P, on the diamonds, on the NASDAQ, we have support areas that we're watching. Make sure you get those numbers drawn in on your charts. Very, very important that you do. Small caps. Now check this out. Small caps been relatively strong last week. Rising wedge, big bearish divergence, negative tick on the histogram. You can see it down there. We are still within the confines of the two trend lines. So this is ready to drop. Because of that, I'm going to add a arrow right there. Small caps are in a lot of trouble, especially if we get down below this. Banks, I added a red arrow to this because we're at resistance and we have a lot of downside opportunity now. Financials, added a red down arrow because we're in a rising wedge with a lot of downside opportunity here. MACD, bearish divergence. US dollar, I called another buy here, but today we had this huge drop on the US dollar, but we're above an area of support. I'm going to keep my buy call here on the US dollar. I will remove that if we start to crash lower. But man, that is just so interesting to see the markets down and the US dollar down. Seeing a lot of weakness here in the US dollar. And crude oil, we're at resistance. I did add a sell signal there. Sell signal for crude oil. We're at resistance. A lot of downside opportunity. Gold, there's our pop. Boom to the upside, gang. Big move, called it. Big pop on volume. And listen, some of you guys are very, very good at leaving comments, sharing the video when I make these calls. I just wanted to take this moment to say thank you for doing that. You do it on YouTube, you do it on Facebook, you do it on Twitter, you'll do it on LinkedIn. You guys, and wherever you watch this video, thank you for taking the time to acknowledge the calls. I've been doing this 18 years, a long time. I have been around the block multiple times. I know what's going on out here in the markets. To be quite frank, it is insane. We have several people that we're in talks with right now, been following me since 2010. Ironically, both of them are, you go back to 2010. And they have not yet been through our mentorship program. Shame on you, I slap your hands. You should be ashamed of yourself. The mentoring is where you're going to learn to trade with confidence in the markets. Now, big boom on gold. Boom. But what is so noteworthy here is that we got to close above this big trend line. Big trend line here. Resistance. Boom over resistance. Now, here it is. We're at a crucial point here. We need to stay above that. We need more follow through. We cannot close below that on Friday. If so, that should be a jab. That could be bad news for gold. Silver. Boom to the upside. Silver on fire on big volume. It's looking good. I actually have a friend that is a miner. He pulls gold out of the earth in Arizona, and I'm in talks with him about purchasing raw gold by the troy ounce. For all you gold people, let me know in the chat below how you buy it. If you do buy physical gold, or do you do coins? Do you do what is it you buy? And do you ever anybody out there buy raw and from the earth? VIX. Big pop today. This is the VXX ETF. Boom to the upside. I called VIX going higher, and sure enough, that is what has happened. Look for upside potential there. The VIX itself has a rolling over. This is a double bottom. Look for, man, the markets could get big time bearish and quickly. And there you're hearing it. Tomorrow's weekend edition video is going to be huge. You do not want to miss that. Make sure you watch the video this weekend. Share this video, share it, leave me a comment down below if you like it. Catch you guys later.